Good morning, Toontown! So, after 84 years, and when the Toontown world didn't really need him all that much, he vanished. I'm finally back. Let's just take a page from the immortalized legendary writer Mark Twain and say, the reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. What reports, you may ask? I'm not quite sure. I just thought it sounded kind of sick, to be honest. I wanted to initially take the time in this video to talk about where I've been, why the video stopped all that time ago, and with me now being here, what to expect in the future. To start, a lot of you might have wondered where I went or why I stopped making the videos. I can't begin to tell you how many times I had seen or heard somebody that reached out in some way, shape, or form, mentioning that they had loved the videos I'd made, or asking about potential new videos, suggesting topics, and it meant a lot to see. My answer usually had been some form of, I'm just taking a break, or I'm feeling happy about what I've done or accomplished, and not feeling this need to create or cover something I've in some way left undone. No stone had been left unturned. But the truth is, there were really a number of things that went on that contributed to it. Let's start with burnout, but maybe not exactly in the way you'd assume. So, it's no secret that since around 2016, I've been involved in the production-facing side of Toontown servers, notably starting with Project Altis. Project Altis. Project Altis, okay? I was a part of Project Altis. My face was on the Steam page. No, I had no say in it, and no, I didn't know it was going to happen. Eventually, that stain on my and Toontown private server records transformed into corporate clash. Something I had, at least in my opinion, a big part in helping pivot to and launch. That said, I'd been a big part of leadership for a long time, since the game had launched in 2018. Initially, I still created videos whilst being a part of the team, and it was okay. But over time, it really came to influence how I felt about making videos and even streaming. I found myself starting to constantly, in my own head, juggle with the responsibility I personally felt I had as a notable member of the Corporate Clash crew. How do I remain a part of the development side of things and still create YouTube or streaming content on these updates on the creator side of things when I already know everything there is to them? How do I stay objective and comment on the quality of these updates or what I do or don't like when I'm a member of the very staff team that put it out? And in the same vein, how do I go around criticizing anything else that goes on in this community, mainly Toontown Rewritten's content, when it can easily be seen as a biased take, or unprofessional, or without easily creating a platform to argue what I said about TTR against what's currently in Corporate Clash or how Corporate Clash operates? I mean, I'm an active member of their staff, right? Some of those things already started happening. I'd seen plenty of examples of people taking criticisms or comments I made and putting a magnifying glass on Corporate Clash using those comments because I'm a part of that crew. And how can I go making these statements when my own game can't back it up? Although I'll still die on the hill that Corporate Clash still has the smelliest canon tune in the game. And that's not biased just because I had a big part in their existence. Okay, well, maybe a little. Anyways, another major reason just came down to feeling downright impossible to dedicate time to both the staff side, the playing side, and the creating side. It just felt like there was no time for all of it, or that it made absolutely no sense. You see, if I'm playing Toontown, I should be spending that time doing behind-the-scenes work and organization for Corporate Clash. Or I should be whipping up some spicy video ideas or streaming. Free time started to become, for me at least, meaning doing things exclusively outside the Toontown bubble. It became impossible for me to sit down, turn off my brain, and just play Toontown. It was mentally, to me, wasting incredibly valuable time that could be spent doing what my brain says is productive Toontown time. When I first started this channel, I had real, tangible goals and aspirations as to what I wanted to achieve, while trying to entertain and provide content that people would love to watch and especially would hopefully avidly look forward to was at the very core of everything I've done. I, whether it was selfish and self-serving or not, had also always aspired to create a name for myself in the Toontown community. It had always been a dream of mine, even back as a kid, back in the early to mid-2000s while playing Toontown, to be one of those most popular or well-known tunes. Back when I was really young, there were tunes that were incredibly well-known, at least in the general circles I was around, such as tunes by the name of Legendary Black Cat, Loosey Goosey, Loopy ZoobleFingers, and no, I didn't copy his name, I've been around since 2003. That's just a few of the countless names I can still even recall, and back then those people weren't creators, but just renowned community individuals, mainly for having the work ethic to be the max laugh the fastest or having multiple max tunes, which compared to today and what people do now is extremely silly to think about in hindsight, don't you think? People freaked out over 117 laugh tunes who managed to, gasp, max their Cashbot suit. The point is, I wanted to be just as cool and as special as they seemed to be to me as a young kid. Inspired by a lot of gaming creators at the time, I created this channel in 2012 with the intention of maybe exploring content creation on Toontown Online, which honestly, I don't think I was ready in any way for, but I still kick myself for not doing so, because let's be real, it would have been some serious prime time to get in, I'll tell you what. When I finally turned to actually creating videos in 2014, I had done essentially the web version of Comrade United's Work vs. Play article, and upon finishing that, had started dreaming big about how to top this content. I just almost basically read this man's article almost word for word and stuck pictures on it and was sitting there like, yeah, this is my magnum opus. How could I ever top this piece of work?
This video was inspired by an article I found online, written by a fellow toon named Comrade.
Although, let me clarify, I did ask permission to do so, and he even commented on my videos once they were out there. I didn't just yoink this man's hard work. I started becoming personally obsessed with just dropping the biggest Toontown content bombs I could possibly think of, the biggest scoops on unknown Toontown content that I'd seen floating around with question marks for years, and to do my best to make waves in this community and create something special that I could be known for. And while I think a lot of what I did could have been done a lot better, and in no way do I think is some incredible special thing in hindsight, I cannot tell you how badly I cringe going back and listening to my utterly unenthused voiceovers or mumbling. In fact, I was so insistent on trying to create a name for myself and have credit for unearthing these things that I made pretty dumb decisions, such as putting a blatant watermark of my Toon's face on the original Toontown Map Mysteries video. Quackity himself even called me out on it. If I could have a do-over, I'd at least change that. The point of this ramble is, by 2022, when I looked at my channel and I heard folks ask when or if I'm going to make videos again, I reflected on it and just felt to myself secure in what I had done. I felt like I'd achieved the goals and dreams I'd initially dreamt up for myself all those years ago. I didn't feel like I'd left any content on the cutting room floor that I'd otherwise always wanted to try and cover. Beyond the serious stuff, I'd had my fun with the rant videos and shorts and joke theories and whatnot. Overall, at the time, I just felt content with where it had all more or less ended up. Almost 15,000 subscribers is honestly so incredibly more than I'd ever hoped or anticipated when I started this channel. I still remember how unreal it felt to hit 1,000, then 2, 3, 4, 5,000, and making tweets every so often to thank for each of those milestones. It was mind-blowing, and to me, who had wanted nothing but that, it was just the most exciting thing that could have happened to me. To me, it was everything. Then the next big reason happened. At some point, after feeling all of the aforementioned feelings and free time being something that's outside the Toontown bubble, I started having my heart set on branching out and looking to do things beyond Toontown. With working on the staff side, working a job, and just general life, it became harder for me to find passion and love for working on Toontown content. Needless to say, I never really got too far off the ground with that idea. I just never really committed to it the way it needed. I eventually found love for beyond Toontown through the gaming channel I do with my friends. Something that I found more than fulfills my beyond Toontown desires when it comes to creating. So, after all this, why has LoopyGoopyG come crawling back to where it all started? Well, honestly, I think I just did my time and shifted things into the right places to make it all work for me again. I'm no longer a part of the Corporate Clash crew. something I'll get into in another video very soon, but having left, it created an entire void of Toontown in my life. When I departed the Corporate Clash crew, that meant I wasn't really actively playing Toontown, I wasn't working on it, I wasn't maintaining my channel or streaming it, and therefore it naturally allowed Toontown to air out for me and create the space I think I needed for a while to recharge my love for it, and to eventually look at it in a way I used to when I was an avid creator in 2016, 17, and 18. I helped out a friend in doing a little editing for a Toontown video he'd recorded, and while editing, it made me just start to realize how much I missed the creative side of it. I started kicking the old rattling can around in my head of whether or not I would entertain the idea of making videos again, and if it would be fun and enjoyable. And the more I thought about it with where I am in life, the more enthused about it I became, and a lot of ideas came to mind about what to cover and what to make videos about, both short-term and long-term. Let me just say, if I didn't have any ideas and inspirations for videos, I probably wouldn't be coming back. Realistically, it's been about 5 years since I've made videos on this channel. Let me just say, when I had an idea or an interesting thought come to mind over the course of these 3 years, I wrote them all down. I'm not going to leak anything. Toontown 3 prototype? Just kidding. But I legitimately have over at least 100 individually written ideas for videos. These things range from small 3-minute helpful tip type things to massive multi-episode ideas. Don't expect just banger after banger from old LoopyGoopyG, but I do have some fun ideas and thoughts in mind. I have places I can go with things, and as long as the heart is there to create them, especially with how many new discoveries and gold mines have been unearthed in the years I've been on hiatus. And speaking of heart, quite possibly the biggest reason I'm back is you guys. Those of you absolute legends that have watched and supported the videos I've made and the efforts I've put into them. Over the years, there's been a number of faces that, despite how quiet or how distant I've been, never forgot me, and never stopped supporting the small things I did trickle out there. I never tried to ignore or avoid you guys, and those who reached out, I hope you feel as though you were noticed. In the years I hardly did anything, I still gained over 1,000 subscribers. Even if I wasn't really there, you guys still were and are. It's impossible to look past that, and I'm incredibly grateful for the support as early as 2014 and as recent as literally right now watching this video. You're darn right I mean you, bucko. And especially thank you to those of you who support and indulge in the incredibly dumb jokes and brand of comedy I've put out there. As to what to expect going forward, I think a lot of things I have planned are, honestly, a lot of the things people have come to love and enjoy on this channel. I still have rants and concepts and mysteries and things to discuss and explore, and until my mental well runs dry, I'm going to try and cover them all and just have a blast with whatever Toontown things I can. As far as schedule goes, I'm not going to lock into anything just yet. I want to put stuff out regularly, but if it's not maintainable, I'll just focus on what I can do. I'll also take a beat to sell out and mention that I do have both my Patreon and my YouTube membership, aka join button down below, available if you want to support me and my loopy content. I haven't made any commitments to streaming specifically, but it's worth it to mention that if I do, it'll be on the twitch.tv/LoopyGoopyG channel. Lastly, I want to ask for your thoughts and opinions. I'm an open book about what to talk about and what to cover. And although I have a lot of ideas, like anyone in the Toontown space, I always can use more and always feed off of the creativity of all you guys watching. If you guys have any topics, ideas, concepts, suggestions, let me know in the comments down below, or tweet at me, or join my Discord and talk about them there. I'd really appreciate it. Until then, this is exciting to get going again. I hope you all are excited as well, and thank you all for joining me on this journey over the last, well, decade. This is LoopyGoopyG, not for the last time, unless the world ends or something, and I'll see you all next time in my next video.
I'm a little shaken, but I'm